Meditation, for me, is a non-negotiable, and it should be for you as well. Because when it comes to not meditating, your mind will be filled with so much more mental garbage that you will allow it to control and dictate how your day goes. Those negative thoughts that you've picked up on from scrolling on social media, from turning on the news, watching TV, allowing certain situations in your day to be able to impact how you feel inside, all becomes eradicated, or at least minimalized, when it comes to meditating daily, implementing meditation daily, stillness, mindfulness daily. So that opens up a space for us to be able to, rather than react to what goes on outside of us, observe it and decide whether we allow it or not. Allow it to impact how we feel inside. Which can be, it's, to some people, probably completely mind-blowing to how people can do that. Because to them, in their head, their ego is telling them that they must respond. They must get angry at certain situations. And I'm not saying that I'm completely void of, am I bleeding? No. I'm not saying I'm completely void of feeling or anything like that. If anything, it makes you begin to feel more. But what it does do is enables you to be able to respond rather than react. Rather than to become overly emotional. You still feel the emotion, but you deal with it in a more calmer and more grounded way, rather than destroying yourselves or destroying other things around you. And I used to get very reactive and angry at work or at a machine. Like that's the machine. It isn't even, it's just doing its thing. And I'm making it to be such a big problem in my head that I'm getting stressed out about it. And that was back when I didn't used to meditate. So it was like, I understand it now, looking back, that I think even now in my life, when that feeling does arise, the feeling of frustration or anger, I am so much more aware of it, to the point where I say to myself, Lewis, why are you getting angry at something that's so small? Or I don't even do that. I'll go on to just say, right, I'm leaving. I'm just walking away from it. It's probably best to face your stress head on. If you're feeling frustrated at something, it's probably best to continue with it and crack on with it, rather than to allow it to continue to frustrate you. But if it does get to the point where it's continually frustrating you, and you're allowing it to continually frustrate you, you don't have to stay engaged with it. You always have the ability to protect your peace, to protect your energy, and to walk away and come back later and carry on with it later. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of men out there would probably say, just push through it, and it just depends on you. If you're gonna overly do it and overly stress yourself, then I wouldn't say it's recommended that, just because someone else out there is influencing you or saying you to, just crack on with it and mentally drain or physically drain yourself, then to me that's negative advice. Do what you feel is right for you. Even if that is getting angry, I'm not saying, let's not feel anger. I'm saying let's become more aware of how we react and respond to the environment around us, so then we can begin to navigate it in a lot more beneficial way, for lack of a better word. It's just that simple, to live a more calmer and grounded and blissful life, rather than to live a more chaotic and destructive, negative life. And I've been meditating and you know, understanding how I feel throughout the day for the past couple of years now. And it takes some time to be able to really want to start observing how you're acting in your day-to-day life, because ultimately that's what we're all doing. As soon as we get up, we kind of had this like persona that we put on to fit in with society, and it can be quite stressful in itself to be able to you know, have all these masks on that we feel like we need to put on to be able to, you know, fit in with society, to be able to feel accepted. You know, but I think once we begin to realize that, oh, I'm just putting on this mask of like, you know, not being an angry person, but really deep down inside you are, because you just bottle it up in front of other people, then that can be destructive within itself. You know, and you lose sense of your authenticity, your true self, your authenticity. That's the word. But yeah, that's just a quick video on meditation anyway, and kind of how important it is to me, and how important it should be for you, really. Like, you know, even if it's a little bit, some people might say, oh, that's boring, you know, but live chaotic lives, and if that's what you want, then fair play. Like, everyone's got their own thing. Like, I before I started meditating, you know, and going out a lot, and using alcohol and substances, it wasn't a thing for me. Meditation wasn't. So just know, if you're out there, there's always the ability to change if you're looking to change your life in any particular way. I'm an example of that, like, you know, and hopefully, you know, if you need anything, then reach out and just keep going, keep being you know, keep having the perspective that your life will get better, because when you do have that perspective, it will get better. You know, what we think and what we feel, we become. You know, our imagination will create our reality, but it all starts within first. You know, the way of the world around us is going to be negative. If our internal world is negative, it's important to start implementing a more of a positive infrastructure and foundation within us, if we want to see a more positive and blissful, less chaotic and destructive world around us, outside of us. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Have a blessed day wherever you're at, and I'll see you in the next one. Bless.